Welcome to the profile video. This video is split up into three main sections. First is a sample sales pitch for Profile. Second, you'll get to see a demonstration of a studio rep giving a presentation on Profile. And lastly, we'll address the most frequently asked questions about Profile. First up, here's the sample sales pitch.
Profile is a dimensional solution for walls and ceilings. This product is carved MDF with routed patterns which can then be specified with any of our rich finishes or can be specified as unfinished and subsequently sanded, primed, and painted in the field to match any color palette. We offer Profile in two formats: panels, a collection of 4-foot by 8-foot panels, or as tiles, a collection of modular tile designs that are small, modular, and scalable. Tiles allow the designer to create infinite and customized borders for an art feature. For most decorative products, this requires taking a 4-foot by 8-foot panel and fabricating it for the desired effect. With tiles, you can use our online configuration tool to specify where each tile goes to create that design that will be unique to your customer. Tiles can also be combined with any of our C3 colors in the Chroma product line for additional drama in this wall feature. The use of lighting, even a simple track lit solution, can further enhance the beauty of a tiles installation. Tiles start in the mid $30 per square foot, with solutions incorporating Chroma priced in the mid $40. Tiles have a standard Class B fire rating when using our finishes and can also achieve Class A fire rating by specifying our fire rated MDF. This solution is easy to install. Simply use the 3M VHB, which we ship out with the material to adhere the tiles to the wall. Using the fire-rated MDF adds $4.50 per square foot. Panels, our 4-foot by 8-foot solution, also looks absolutely stunning with and without lighting. These designs are also available with any of our standard finishes and carry the same fire rating, Class B, the standard specification, and Class A for the fire-rated MDF, as our tile product. Panels start at $15 per square foot for unfinished panels and $21 per square foot for the finished panels. Premium finishes cost $24 per square foot. Each of these patterns, edges, matches in both directions, so you can effectively use this for features that are larger in size. We recommend using either panel cleats, Z-clips, or construction mastic for the installation of panels. Proper alignment of the panels along with the strong patterns minimize the appearance of a seam. In a space with well-controlled HVAC, low variance in temperature and humidity, a seamless installation could be used by specifying panels unfinished, then installing with a filler material and sanding, priming, and painting the entire solution. In addition to our standard finishes, both tiles and panels have custom finishes available to them or can be painted on site after sanding and priming to any custom color. If the installer would prefer, we also offer the product ready to paint, meaning we will provide the material sanded and primed. Simply install the panels and add paint to finish the Profile feature. Ready-to-paint panels cost $25 per square foot. Add $10 to the unfinished price.
Profile is a modular routed MDF product that is available in tiles or panels. So you probably recognize the panels because there are similar products out there like that, but what our Profile system brings to the marketplace are the tiles. Profile tiles allow you to design with negative space, so it can either make your tiles cover a larger area or just be part of the design aesthetic. They also allow you to orient the panels the tiles, in a vertical or horizontal application. The tiles also allow you to bring in a pop of color by using our C3 color system and our Chroma product line. So with C3 you have 40 films, over 50,000 color choices, and you can really help brand the space or, like I said, add a pop of color with it. So the Profile tiles start at about $30 a square foot. They come standard as a fire rating Class B, but can be ordered as a Class A. And they are easy to install with a double-sided, very high bond tape. They also can be washed with light. So here you see a wall washed with LED light, and then the next slide is that same wall with the lights turned off, so you can really see how the space transforms with lighting. Again, a vertical and a horizontal installation. And here you have the 6 standard tile shapes that we offer. We can also do custom tiles as needed. We have an online configuration tool that allows you to play around with that negative space or to add that color. You can send the design off to your client for approval and discussion. You can also send it off to us for budget pricing and quoting, and then the final installation. So profile panels, like I mentioned, come in 4-foot by 8-foot formats. They are designed to have the patterns line up vertical and horizontal. They also can be front lit with light like you see here, so that really transforms the space as we talked about. Here is a great example of this with a sushi restaurant in Lower Manhattan that was affected by Hurricane Sandy. They needed a quick solution to fix the wall so they could reopen within their budget, and Profile fit that space, and they were one of the first restaurants to open after the cleanup. So on the 4-foot by 8-foot formats, the patterns do run vertical and horizontal to match up, and the patterns are strong enough that they do a really good job of hiding the seams. However, if a seamless look is more along the lines of what you're looking for, you can order the profile panels unfinished, and then you can have those seams prepped and treated on site, and then the panels painted there. So here you can see a seamless installation with attached signage. If you are going to do a seamless installation, we just ask that you get us involved early on so that we can make sure that the space is properly prepped and appropriate for a seamless installation. Because it is machined MDF, you can see that it's very easy to modify on site to accommodate signage or displays. We can do inside and outside corners. And again, here you can see how strong the pattern is that the seam virtually hides here in this wall. You can also rotate or manipulate the pattern to be with the 48-inch edge or the 96-inch edge, which can further help hide the seam or just add a different design aesthetic to the space. This is one of our newer patterns called Braid. Another seamless installation. And you can also cut the panels to be different sizes to incorporate that in. The profile panels start at about $15 a square foot, and here's another installation with some LED lighting. So this is our New York showroom, and this shows several things. It shows a seamless installation, so these panels were shipped unfinished and the seams were treated on site. It shows an inside corner and then also some fabrication to the profile panels to allow for that backlit 3 logo. These are the standard panel designs that we have, the patterns that we have, but you can also design your own custom one. And then these are the standard films that we have available for profile, although there are many other films available, so if you're looking for something specific, reach out to us. Lastly, to further add some design flair to our profile panels, you can have them cut into planks. So you can specify in your design that the panels be cut into the large planks or the small planks, and then just incorporate the seams as part of the design aesthetic like you see here.
We'll now review some of the most frequently asked questions about Profile and give you the information you need to answer those questions. What are the design options for Profile? There's a number of different design options for Profile due to the various types of patterns and finishes that are available. As you know, Profile comes in panels or tiles. The panels are 48 by 96 inches, and there are 15 standard patterns. Tiles are small and modular and are roughly 4 by 16 inches. For tiles, there are 6 standard patterns. In addition to patterns, customers can also choose from 5 different finish options, which are unfinished, standard finish, premium finish, ready to paint, and chroma. We'll now take a minute to give you a little more detail about these different finishes. Unfinished means no wrap is applied. The panel arrives on site as carved, exposed MDF. For this, we recommend a process of sanding and priming, and sanding and priming again, and then painting. Standard finishes are made out of PVC. There are 21 stock finishes available. Premium finishes are made out of PET, and there are 7 stock finishes available. Ready to paint means that after carving out the pattern, we do the sanding and priming. The panel then arrives on site with a white primer finish, and the painting is done on site. Finally, Achroma uses the C3 color system and is only available for tiles. When using C3, we recommend having an opaque back to hide the installation mechanism. This can be done using reflect or whiteout. Also, be aware that Chroma tiles do not have the dimension carved on the surface. However, the size and beveling of Chroma tiles will perfectly match the rest of the tiles in the pattern. The last design option we'll cover is pattern direction. Specifiers can choose the grain direction on the finish of their tiles. Panels can also be specified to be parallel to the 48-inch side or the 96-inch side. However, finishes with an actual pattern are only available parallel to the 96-inch side. What custom options are there? In addition to standard sizes and finishes, there are some things about Profile that can be customized. The 3 main things are custom patterns, custom finishes, and custom gauges. When a custom pattern is requested, there's a certain process that takes place. Here's how it works. First, the customer identifies the desired pattern. Then, Studio Project Management coordinates with the design team to render possible options and close the pattern using current tooling. They'll also communicate options back to the customer. If the customer agrees to one of the patterns, then a custom sample will be created. Finally, after the customer approves the sample, a quote and order will be generated. It's important to note that the sampling and production of custom patterns will result in extended lead times. The exact lead times will be determined during the process and will depend on the complexity of the request and current backlog. There will also be a price premium for final production of custom work. The final cost will be determined at the quoting stage, but again it will depend on the complexity of the request. Finishes can also be customized beyond the standard options. Dacor, SSI, and Omnova supply our standard finishes, and Renolit supplies our premium finishes. These suppliers have many more finishes available than what we show in stock on our website. Customers can pick from any other PVC finishes from Dacor, SSI, or Omnova, or choose from any of the PET finishes from Renolit. Fortunately, most of the finishes do not require a price premium. However, depending on the finish, there may be extended lead times, typically an additional 1 to 2 weeks, and price premiums may apply as well. For custom gauges, slightly thicker gauges can be achieved by starting with a thicker MDF. Both 1-inch MDF and 1 1/4 inch MDF is available. Extended lead times and price premiums will apply and will be determined at the time of quoting. Thinner gauges are not available because the carved patterns will be too deep to successfully work. How is Profile installed? There's a variety of possible ways to install Profile panels. Some of the most common ways include the use of Z-clips or panel cleats, screws, or adhesives. To install panels using Z-clips, first, the Z-clips must be attached to the back of the Profile panel. Z-clips should run the entire width of the panel, and special care should be taken with regards to the length and size of the screws used and where the screws are placed so as not to impact the front finish of the panel. Construction mastic or adhesive should also be used to supplement the screws. A minimum of 3 rows of Z-clips is necessary per 8-foot tall panel. Rows of Z-clips should be situated on the top and bottom edge of the panel, with additional rows spaced evenly between. Also, plywood or solid wood in-wall blocking is required. If you're using panel cleats, then they should be installed in the same way as Z-clips. When gluing multiple panels together, it is necessary to leave space at both ends to allow expansion and contraction of the entire panel system. Glued joints should only be used on smaller installations of 2 to 6 panels or when using recommended panel cleats. Panel cleats will allow the entire feature to expand and contract. Profile panels can also be attached to a wall by screwing directly through the panel. Construction mastic should also be used to supplement the screws. It's required to leave a 1/16 inch gap between panels to allow for expansion and contraction of the wood panels. This technique should only be used on non-wrapped panels that will be painted in the field. Holes in the panel should be pre-drilled and countersunk. After screwing the panel to the wall, a non-shrinking filler, like Bondo, may be used to cover the holes. Please note that non-shrinking filler should not be used between panels. Instead, a flexible seam filler should be used. You should also note that this method is limited to a maximum of 6 panels. If you're using an adhesive to glue the panels directly to the wall, it's required to leave a 1/16 inch gap between panels to allow for expansion and contraction of the wood panels. Alignment of the panels prior to curing is important, as the panels cannot be realigned afterwards. An industrial-grade silicone such as Momentive Sil-Glaze 2 SCS 2800 can be applied to the back of the panels in combination with 3M 4496 foam tape. Silicone should be applied in dots, as it needs moisture or air to cure. Again, alignment of the panels prior to curing is important, as the panels cannot be realigned after curing. Panel installations more than 16 feet wide should use panel plates. There's also a variety of possible ways to install profile tiles. 3form recommends using 3M VHB 4496 tape to secure profile tiles to the wall. 3M VHB 4496 is white foam, double-sided tape with permanent adhesive. You should first apply 10 PSF using a J-roller or other application tool. Full cure time for VHB is 72 hours. How many tiles can I get out of a 4x8 sheet? Let's review the tile sheet yield for profile. Each tile type has a different sheet yield. For example, Verve yields 63 full tiles and 24 half tiles. Glide yields 57 full tiles and 24 half tiles. Quarry yields 60 full tiles. Swoon yields 160 full tiles. And Flank provides 28 tiles at various widths. We'll talk more about Flank tile yield in just a moment. But first, be aware that clear and reflect chroma tiles are available via direct for $35 per tile. Now, when it comes to Flank tiles, the available width options are 4 tiles at 15.75 inches, 4 tiles at 23.38 inches, 4 tiles at 31.5 inches, 12 tiles at 47.25 inches, and 4 tiles at 71.13 inches. To illustrate how this works, let's look at an example. Let's say a customer needs 200 full tiles and 20 half tiles for quarry. In this case, they would specify 3 sheets of quarry full and 1 sheet of quarry half and full, yielding a total of 228 full tiles and 20 half tiles. Don't forget that Studio Project Management is happy to help calculate an exact quote as long as the number of full and half tiles has already been determined. If I specify unfinished in the field, how should I prep the panel for painting? The rule of thumb is to sand and prime the panel until it's ready to be painted. This may take more than one round of priming and painting. For ready-to-paint finishes, 3form fabrication uses the following steps, which can easily be replicated in the field. First, sand the MDF using Norton Contour Sponge Medium Grit. Then dust the surface using an air blower. Then apply Valspar white vinyl up to 4 mm using an airless sprayer and allow it to dry for 25 minutes. After it's dry, the process is repeated. This time use Norton Contour Sponge Fine Grit for the sanding. Remove the dust with an air blower. Apply another coat of Valspar white vinyl and then allow it to dry for 25 minutes. When this process is finished, the product will be ready to paint in the field. we recommend a water-based paint, such as a latex paint, although some solvent-based paints such as lacquers can also work. Finally, be aware that 3form does not offer an on-site painting service. What if I don't like the seams? What are my options? In many cases, the strength of the pattern can effectively minimize the seams. However, there are more options to address the paneling. The customer can specify the pattern to run parallel to the seam on the 96-inch side. This method can hide the seam really well. Another method is to specify the panel in either small plank or large plank. This way, with the 4x8 panels in smaller pieces, the seams will become part of the design. Lastly, panels can be specified as unfinished. Then, after installation, the seams can be finished and painted for a seamless application. Does the pattern direction repeat in panels? The answer to this question is yes, in most cases. All of the patterns, except for ray, are designed to continue horizontally along the 4-foot dimension. In addition, all the patterns, except for metric and ray, are designed to continue vertically along the 8-foot dimension. It may also be helpful to note that the metric pattern can be modified to continue in the vertical direction by cutting down the panels slightly along the 8-foot dimension. Can profile be cut by 3form to fit to my exact wall or ceiling? Panels can be cut down to fit a specific measurement with a small price premium. Tiles, on the other hand, are a modular grid system and therefore can only be fitted to the nearest full tile size. Can profile be fabricated in the field? Profile can be fabricated in the field to accommodate custom dimensions. However, if this is the case, it should be specified as unfinished for post-manufacturing fabrication. Then, after the on-site fabrication is complete, the product will need to be sanded, primed, and finished. What finish option is best if the client is concerned about durability? The customer may choose a standard or premium finish for lighter durability concerns, as they hold up better than paint finish. However, a paint finish may be better in the long term because even though paint damages more easily, it can also be fixed and touched up easier. On the other hand, with the exception of white finishes, it would be hard to paint and touch up a film finished panel. What is the fire rating for profile panels and tiles? So how does profile measure up when it comes to fire rating? Well, there are two types of MDF available, standard and fire rated. Both of these types have been tested for flammability and smoke test with the ASTM E8403 standard, and the results were favorable. Standard MDF with the standard finish received the Class B rating. Fire rated MDF with the standard finish received the Class A rating, and fire rated MDF that's unfinished also received the Class A rating. That's pretty good. Can profile be used on curved walls? Profile can actually be used on curved walls, but not with very tight radii. For example, panels in the 4-foot direction can achieve a 100-degree radius, and panels in the 8-foot direction can achieve a 220-degree radius. Vertical tiles can achieve an 8-degree radius, and horizontal tiles can achieve a 35-degree radius. Is profile available in high res? High res is not currently available as a standard option. Some printing may be done on tiles, but must be approved first. Where is profile manufactured? If the customer orders a ready-to-paint finish, then the material will be manufactured out of Salt Lake City. Otherwise, profile tiles and panels are manufactured in Tampa, Florida. What are the competitive products to profile? Well, currently there are no competitors for profile tiles, but there are many products with a similar look and feel to profile panels. Let's review some of the main ones. Modular Arts has a product that uses glass reinforced gypsum and comes in pieces that are 30 by 30 inches. Their product has a similar price point for raw materials, but becomes more expensive due to installation costs. Interlam uses MDF and has a wide offering of products including more simple patterns with lower price points. Their product designs that are similar to ours also have a similar price point. However, they charge more for the ability to apply a finish to the product. Texture 3D and Architectural Wall Systems are two companies who also use MDF and have similar price points. Bellegarde, Innovative Accents, and BNN are all small competitors as well. What are the sampling options for profile? Panel samples are available in 10 by 10 P&P pieces in any standard pattern with a crystal white finish. Customers can also request a 10 by 10 custom piece in any standard pattern unfinished or with any of the standard finishes. Tile samples are available as full-size tiles, either as P&P or custom. The P&P samples can come in any standard pattern with a crystal white finish, and the custom samples can come in any standard pattern unfinished or with any standard finish. Tiles are also available in the P&P chroma color per tiles pattern. Be aware that smaller samples can be requested. In these cases, the larger samples will simply be cut into smaller pieces, such as a 4 by 4 inch piece.